What's up, my warriors? Welcome to the Chin Check Podcast, where warriors come to tell their story. I'm Bryce Wilson, the host. My first guest got a lot of heat, a lot of motion right now. Y'all have known him from reality TV, an artist himself, business owner, serial entrepreneur, one and only Benzino.
Man, appreciate you, Bryce.
My guy, what's good?
Man, I appreciate that.
Good to see you, man.
Man, likewise, man. Likewise.
Been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
That's why when I seen you, I was like, I had a big smile on my face.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, for real.
So the way I do this podcast is we divide it up into rounds, and then we basically go into your life and what battles you've had through life, you know, which we gonna get to the one you in one right now.
Oh man, yeah.
For sure. So let's go to the beginning, right?
Okay.
You're born in Boston.
Yep.
Raised there.
Mm-hmm.
So the RSO, was that just a rap group, or were y'all getting money as well?
I mean, well, I grew up in Boston. My dad, you know what I'm saying, was a heavy influence up in there in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He had connections with the mafia up there, the Italians up there. And, really not just the Irish. A lot of them really, fuck with schnapps. So growing up, you know what I'm saying, I'd say about 12 years old is when, he was doing time in the feds, and that's when he kind of put me out there, you know what I'm saying? The first kind of business I did as a teenager was like with my dad, street stuff. And, I didn't question him, he was my hero. My father, all the big cars, the clothes, the jewelry and stuff, and just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just an automatic respect, even if he wasn't there. And he wasn't there a lot, doing time or whatever. But started doing that and, was going back and forth to New York because he's from Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah. My grandfather was in the Bronx. Grandmother was in Coney Island projects.
Oh, nice.
So I'd spend more time in New York sometimes than Boston. I learned hip hop around 11 years old, scratching with my grandfather's youngest son, Eddie, my uncle. And man, that was in the 70s. Fell in love with hip hop. When I'm in Boston now, I'm moving and shaking in my teens, going to high school, and I'm doing hip hop. Hip hop's evolving. Yeah. And I just started to get my own group, the RSO. At that time, Boston was kind of segregated, like a lot of cities, but Boston was really real racist city. Yeah. And
them whites are fearless too.
Man.
They wasn't playing.
Yeah, because you gotta understand that's old money up there. That's one of the first incorporated towns, Boston.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, that's when you think of the first three presidents, they all came from that area because there was nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So old money up there, old ways, old habits, you know what I'm saying? Old values. Yeah. Generational.
Yep.
And growing up, you could see that shit. If it wasn't, and I say this a lot, if it wasn't for my dad dealing with white men that I had to deal with, and for me to see how great of men they were within their own perspective of what they were doing in life and how I looked at them, white people probably would have had a darker picture for me. Yeah. Because all I ever seen was racism and busing and people throwing, black people would have to get escorted to certain schools in Massachusetts, and because white people didn't want them to come to their schools. We talking to young kids. Yeah. And it's, so when you're seeing all that, it shapes your mind to be like white people are bad. But then once I started dealing with schnapps, my father, we call them schnapps, and then dealing with these Italian men, Irish men, Jewish men, now I'm starting to see no, they cool as hell. Yeah. And that's that was the balance I needed. So, shit, man, just doing hip hop. I'm in the streets, you know what I'm saying, getting money, like a motherfucker, and Schnapps locked up, but shit, I'm taking care of him. The RSO was rock shit on. You know what I'm saying? I was from Four Corners area in Dorchester on the Roxbury border. I was born in Roxbury, but we moved to Dorchester. My man 2 times had a group in Castlegate, Grove Hall. That was Four Corners and Castlegate were 2 of the most dangerous probably parts of Boston to grow up in at that time. Yeah. It was real territorial. Boston got territorial, but I'd say in 84 or 5, we started getting full-blown gangs. Okay. And, it's different having gangs maybe in Chicago or LA because it's so spread out. The area is so spread, but in Boston, Black Boston's probably 20 square mile radius. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you got beef with somebody, you know where the fuck they at. You know the projects are a mile and a half and been beefing with each other for 30, 40 years and probably got 30, 40, 50 bodies between both of them. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was probably one of the only East Coast cities that really got heavy into gangbanging.
Mm-hmm. And did the crack era affect Boston heavy?
Of course, yeah. Man. The funny thing was, I remember, so, you know, I'm 60, right? And when I'd never forget, man, rest in peace to Mike Brown. We up in Four Corners, and Mike had brought it. I think he got it from New York, and he was like, look, and we're like, what the fuck is that? I forgot what year it was, but it was the early 80s. Mm-hmm. I know that. It wasn't the 70s. The 70s was a lot of heroin.
Yeah.
But when he came around with it, everybody was like, what the fuck is that? So he put it in the joint and shit. We all took a hit. I was like, what the fuck is this? Because back then, you know, it wasn't peer pressure, but everybody's trying everything back then. When you're young, these drugs are just now coming around. Black beauties, Quaaludes, cocaine, heroin. You know, I developed a heroin habit, sniffing heroin at I was about 18 years old for a couple of years of my life. Yeah, that was fucked up. And as I look back now, but you know, I stopped before
you shot up.
I shot up because that's the natural progression. And a lot of my guys are gone because of that. You know, when you growing up in those late 70s, which is 70s and 80s, it was the drugs, man. You know what I'm saying? It was the drugs that really ravaged our communities as far as using drugs. Yeah. And it wasn't looked upon as, oh man, you're a drug addict or oh, you're doing bad. It was just something that we out there in the streets and everybody was doing it. Like it wasn't, you know, so.
Were you running your own crew?
You know, Four Corners there was so many of us, it really wasn't necessarily a leader. Although, you know, rest in peace, Corcho. I would say Corcho would be the closest to my OG if I had an OG. My father was my ultimate OG, but at the end of the day, like I said, Schnapps was, you know, he did 2 long bids. Mm-hmm. So the times he was out, man, it was dope. Yeah. Because we was doing shit together. But the times he would in, I would have to make sure I'm doing shit right. Mm-hmm. You know, me, I'm early, I would always get the plug, grab some shit, and then whatever, you know, was the profit, I would spend that and go buy a bunch of clothes. And I started that at a young age. Yeah. And then, you know, now you got to sell all this shit, so you're going to come back short a few times. So I remember my father getting upset with me a few times about that, so I had to clean that up. Mm-hmm. And I had to make sure that, you know, if I get out there, man, profit got to be last. I got to get their money first. Exactly. You know, because I was scared of my father. I mean, I respected him, but I feared him. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And I didn't want to fuck up. So, you know, I learned hustling, and that's all I did. I mean, honestly, like from 12 to maybe the next 20 years, I mean, that's all I did was I was only in the house to sleep or to smash. You know what I'm saying? A chick. Other than that, it was outside all the time, at night, day, through the snow, snowstorms, summer, hot nights. I mean, you know, I survived a lot where a lot of my guys, I can name over 100 guys that have been murdered in Boston. Yeah. Everybody had different hustles. You had your house invaders, you had your stick-up kids, your car thieves, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we all was in Four Corners, so we all met up together. Mm-hmm. And when I look at it now and I look back, I'm like, man, it's just so many niggas that are gone from like the late 70s to, you know, for that whole to the 90s, that whole kind of mid-90s, late 90s. Yeah. That was like 20 years of just like, you know, like when you grew up with these people, these was your brothers in the camaraderie and the shit that y'all went through. And it's like, man, they're gone. Like, it's almost like if you in Vietnam and you go out with your platoon and there's 20 of y'all and like 4 of y'all come back. It's the same shit.
Same thing, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, I got tired of going to wakes. I couldn't go to wakes no more after a while. I just couldn't do it. Yeah. I just couldn't do it no more. I just didn't. At first, I didn't even understand the concept of motherfuckers looking crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't. I just was a confused motherfucker when it came to death and, you know, when they stuff them with the shit and they lay in there looking crazy. I just couldn't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? And like, it was just too many. It was too many fucking wakes and funerals. Yeah. I just decided like, you know what I'm saying? So I know that shit affects all of us, but we live with it and we internalize it and we make it normal. Mm-hmm. But I know that shit, you know, affects me to this day.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even notice, but you guys you know, back in the days, New Yorkers were known for going down south, right? Baltimore, Virginia, North Carolina, Atlanta.
Right.
But you guys had you guys had a big name.
Right.
Because I remember I had a good friend of mine, Kilo, from 40 Projects in Queens. And he used to go to Boston to get money.
Yeah.
He used to tell me there was 2 places, Corona, Queens, and Boston. He'd be like, yo, it ain't what you think. Like, they not playing. And it wasn't until you came out with a video that he was like, that's the dude in Boston. Remember I told you about Boston? Yeah, so you guys had a name already.
I mean, you remember in Too Deep, that was about God, Darryl Whiting, when we went up to the projects up there. And now they was all from that area. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So he came up there. That movie was really about him. They didn't shoot it in Boston. They couldn't shoot it in Boston. They shot it in Ohio, but LL played him.
Yeah.
And I remember, he had a nightclub called Club 48. So my DJ, 2 times with DJ, the nightclub, and it was like a little hole in the wall, dark as hell. Niggas was in there strapped the fuck up all the time. But the one time me and I still talk to his nephew. He stayed in Charlotte, man. Wise, and it was a bunch of them. He's doing life, but he went to Orchard Park. Now Orchard Park is where Bobby's from, Bobby Brown in New Edition. That's their project. But he went down there with that work, just like when YBI from Detroit came, Pep and him went to Columbia Point with that work. See, when niggas come, they know that whatever you sell in Detroit or New York for $10, you can get 3 times in Boston.
Yep.
Crazy. 3 times, yeah.
Wow.
Look, we used to get on the Trump shuttle, right? This is before you get searched. Go right by Yankee Stadium, get 4 bricks of dope, right? $2,000, and sell them shits triple. I used to have them shits in my drawers, like I was a kid, and come over. We wouldn't get searched. There was no searching. There was no metal detectors. This was before 9/11. And we used to come up with bundles of dope. We used to get right by Yankee Stadium, right in the Bronx.
Yep.
And then we'd go get our weed. We go get a couple of other things from New York, and then we get right back on the flight, on the shuttle. It started out as a United, and then Trump bought it. So it was big-ass Trump shuttle. We was right on that motherfucker with nuts for the fucking diesel. Yeah. I mean, Boston could sell like heroin, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're hustling, you young, you still in school or you left school?
You know what? I went to, it's crazy because I went to I took a test, my mother, God rest her. I went to Boston Tech. She was so happy. So I didn't want to go there. It was like half white, half black, but it was in the hood. So I went there, and I remember I got into a beef with these white kids. These white kids tried to jump me on the bus. That stabbed me up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? This is Boston and shit. My first year of fucking high school. I said, all right. You know what I'm saying? Next day, got a bunch of, and see, I used to sell, I used to have joints, right? I would roll 100 joints and give them out to 7 dudes, give them 100. They bring me back 70, keep 30. I had them in 7 different high schools. I go to my school and I'm selling at my school, but all the other schools I had locked down. So I don't know why, but they called me the Count. See, I was Ray Dog. My name was Ray Dog before Benzino, but for some reason they called me the Count in Tech. I don't know why, but long story short, we get on the bus to go back home, man, and I got my guys with me this time. This time, these motherfuckers breaking out with more knives. Man, we fighting on that motherfucker. Everybody got kicked out of the school. So then I ended up going to the Burke. Now the Burke was like Cooley High. That's where I wanted to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know what I mean? Even though I never was a dummy, but you know how high school was back then. You just go in there for the chicks, smoke weed. There was hallways right across. Everybody be in the hallway getting drunk, fucked up off of private stock, peach snaps, peppermint schnapps, Wild Irish Rose. We drinking anything, man. My first class in algebra, I'm like this, drooling all over the motherfucking thing. So I made it. I got kicked out of a couple schools and went to night school, went to fucking summer school. Only because my mother, if it wasn't for my mother, I just didn't want to disappoint my mother, man. It's important. Now I realize that I had a conscience. It's important that you have a conscience. Your kids got to have a conscience. They got to have something to where they feel like, damn, if I jump all the way off, I'm going to disappoint. So you got to be able to have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I had that with my mother. My father, I was scared that if I fuck up the money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my mother is just disappointed her in different shit. And school was one of them. So I finally went to this vocational school. They used to give us tokens to fucking try. I had to work at Sears and shit. I was selling weed to everybody at Sears and Roebuck. I swear to God, man. Oh, they loved me there. I never wanted to leave after that. For real. I was getting so much money at Sears and Roebuck. But I got my points and I ended up graduating, man. But high school was just like, it just was somewhere to hang out. But I did, at the end of the day, you learn the basics of reading and the basics of, so you need that.
Yeah, absolutely. You need absolutely. That. No, high school up north in the 80s was it was a movie.
Listen, we had Miss Wong. She was the algebra teacher. So I never forget it. Tracy and Renee McGahee and Tracy Lifka. Man, they hated this lady so much. She could barely speak English. She was Chinese and shit. So man, nobody listened to her. She got the first class. I slept every fucking day. This motherfucker, they went in there and put a dead fucking mouse in her folder. And I'm sleeping on the shit. And she opened up a screen, woke me up. I was the only one in class. I guess everybody had already left. I said, ain't this some shit? Man, I'm telling you, man, like it was crazy. They had a Stairway 6 that they shut down. So Stairway 6 you're not supposed to go. So everybody's on Stairway 6. Drinking, smoking, like.
Exactly.
It was the Jeremiah Burke. It was the Jeremiah Burke for girls, and they erased girls off of the concrete, but you could still see it. Then it was the Jeremiah Burke. It was smack dab in the middle of Roxbury. Basketball court had it was the out of bounds was walls. Had the best basketball team in the city. Yeah. Killing them.
Yeah.
But the school was fucked up. Hard. Yeah. We had fun though.
That's the inner city life. Inner city life is especially in that era was just different.
It was dope.
Yeah. It was dope. And it's interesting because when you look at it, when you look at that era, I think people don't understand that we built the world we live in in that era.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like all this right here is just an evolution of what we all created then. Yeah.
Of that.
Yeah. What we created then.
It was special.
Yes.
It really,
it was dangerous and it was beautiful at the same time.
At the same time. And it's still, you still felt love.
Yep.
The difference with now, I don't feel no love. Yeah, I only feel, I don't feel no, now me, Benzino, I get love. Benzino, so that's different. But just the energy of places, it's not just back then it just felt, it's hard, it's crazy that you brought that up, but back then I just could just think of Spike Lee, of how Spike Lee's movies was.
Yes.
That's how life was.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how it was to be black. Yeah. And to have, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's not there no more.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. And I always advise people to watch those early Spike Lee movies because it tells the story of that era. And Spike Lee's not from Brooklyn.
I didn't know that.
He's not even from New York. He's from Eaton, Georgia.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's from Eaton, Georgia. But what I think when he went to film school at NYU, he just went crazy. Because that's when he discovered Brooklyn.
Spike Lee's from Georgia.
Yeah, he's from Eaton, Georgia. Yeah.
Get the fuck
But he's obviously he's so Brooklyn because, he's brought it to the world,
Come on, man.
Yeah. Benzino versus the industry.
Ooh, man.
I want to know how you got into the industry, what your battles were.
Man, the industry. Like I said, hip-hop was something that I fell in love with in my grandfather's basement with my uncle, with 2 Gemini turntables cutting, to be real.
Yeah.
And Apache.
Yep.
Right? And seen Wild Style, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking, Beach Street.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all that shit I fell in love with. I mean, madly in love with. I loved music. Started DJing and all that. And it really kept me alive, man. All them years, block parties and all that shit in Boston, man, really music kept me alive because I was heavy in the streets. But once I started getting into the industry, it was actually kind of, I would say once we met Dave Mays and the whole Source magazine situation.
Yeah. Where'd you meet Dave?
So Dave was going to Harvard at the time. Okay. Harvard's in Cambridge, away from the hood, real liberal, you know what I'm saying? Real chill, you know what I'm saying? Acoustic guitar life, you know what I'm saying? So we was doing this, we was at a college radio station, WERS, Emerson College, same college that Wendy Williams, I think, graduated from. And I just remember Dave had came up there to interview us. We was up there because it was a telethon and we was doing a live performance for the college because we didn't have a regular radio station in Boston. So we had to have college radio stations. So we went and did a live performance. They do it every year where they invite local bands and rap groups. So we was the rap group. Dave came up there to interview us and shit. And I just remember he was like, yo, RSO, man. He was like, yeah, I want to interview you. Dave Mays, I got a show in Harvard called Street Beat, a radio station that I'm starting up or whatever. You know, it's going to be on Saturdays. I'm like, all right, cool. So we, you know, we did the interview. And then me and Dave kept in touch, man. You know, I don't know how it happened because at that point, I really didn't have no, like, you know, I'm a hood nigga, strictly hood. It really wasn't no, other than the people that I was dealing with, my father, you know, those guys. But I just, you know, it wasn't too many white kids around us hanging out with us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Dave, you know what I'm saying, that was a change of pace for me, hanging out with Dave. And it's not like I seen him as a white dude, but I didn't have any friends that were Jewish that went to Harvard. So we just kept in touch, man, and I would go up there and visit him. His roommate used to have some good weed and shit. You know what I'm saying? White dude. Yeah. And man, we just have fun with each other, just kicking it, smoking, and just, you know, talking about hip hop. But then Jeff, my DJ, had ended up being the DJ for his Street Beat show on Saturday that he had 1 hour. Like, Harvard had a radio station that played classical music. They gave him an hour or two on a Saturday to play hip hop. Yeah. Dave, that's where Dave came up with the 1-page newsletter. Source Magazine, KRS-One was on a black and white.
Oh, it started out as a 1-page.
1 page. It was just one. Oh, look, just like this. 1 piece of paper.
Really?
1 page. And KRS was like in the top left, and then it was like the top 5 songs, and it was like a little article about KRS and a couple other things, and that was it. And then Dave had the vision to where every week he would get more and more information, and then he would go sell little blocks of advertisement. So I took him to the hood, Skippy White's in the hood in Roxbury, so he can get some. Skippy White's bought his first ad for like $200 and shit. Because the newsletter went out to everybody. He sent it to all the labels, DJs, everyone. You know what I'm saying? He had a vision, man. You know, Dave was very smart, organized, and he loved hip hop. Came from DC, but was kind of weird because DC was predominantly go-go. Yeah, exactly. And then here you are in Boston where the only hip-hop scene really is underground with what we was doing. Yeah. It's like Boston wasn't allowing, like you couldn't even, like the Fresh Fest couldn't even come through Boston. You'd have to go catch it in Providence. You know, Boston wasn't allowing that shit at all. On the route, They wasn't allowing it, hip-hop. So, you know.
That's a big misconception because me personally, and I think everybody else, we thought that Dave established the source and then you came on. So you knew Dave before that.
That's true because when Dave was doing the source, you know, Jeff was the DJ and everything every Saturday. Me and Dave was just being cool. Like when the source came out, I was like, yeah, all right, cool. I didn't pay no attention like that. I was doing my thing. I had the group and I was hustling like a motherfucker. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was trapping. So, you know, I got locked up for one summer, and I remember Dave would always have to go home for the summer. So I let him stay in my apartment. And then he would box up the little magazine, because it went from a piece of paper to like 2 pages, to like 6 pages, then a small booklet with Slick Rick on it, little black and white booklet this big.
Oh, wow.
Then, it was like a small booklet this big. Then it just morphed into the big color thing. And then he had 3 other guys that went to Ivy League school that kind of pitched in to make the first, you know, to kind of like get it off the ground. They all went to Ivy League. Me and Dave were just friends. Yeah. You know,
and what was the catalyst for you two becoming partners?
Well, it started in '88, but in '94, when Dave had moved and got the office in New York. So, you know, I go up there, you know, my guys to go see Dave. You know, we street guys, you know what I'm saying? So we at the office. It ain't like we meant any harm or whatever. Motherfuckers would see T-shirts on one of the desks, take the T-shirt. Yeah. But they would, you know, these are college kids. They're like, man, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So Dave would always have a problem with, like, we're Dave's friends from Boston and that's his college buddies. They didn't like us. Yeah. You know, They didn't like us at all. And then we didn't like them, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, we didn't go up there with that. But you could just, anytime, what people got to understand about street guys is, street guys will fuck with you. But once they see that, you could sense that you ain't fucking with them, or you just, you know what I'm saying? Then that's when you're really gonna get the pushback. Yeah. And that's how it happened. And it was like 94, I just remember he had put an article about our group. Now, we're still doing the RSO in Boston. Dave is sending record execs down from New York to come see us, A&Rs, from Tommy Boy.
Okay.
Some guy named Kevin, I forgot his last name. So we had opened up for Tretch and them and killed it. And we got a deal. We got a single deal. You know what I'm saying? Put out one in the chamber.
With Tommy Boy.
With Tommy Boy. It was about police killing people in Boston and getting over with it. See, it's crazy because these last few years, you know, you see how the police brutality and people marching, but this shit was happening in the 80s up there with us, and didn't nobody give a fuck.
Exactly.
You know, so we wrote a song called One in the Chamber about two particular young guys who got killed by police and they got over with it. The song was doing good, and then all of a sudden we got sued by the police, and then we got dropped from Tommy Boy. So, you know, we still trying to do our Eazy-E wanted to sign us. I met with Eazy-E. Jay Prince ended up signing us. I mean, we lived in Houston. I mean, but Dave was still maintaining the Source magazine. In 1994, he put an article about us. It was the first time we had an article about our group. Now, mind you, the magazine came out in 88. There's never been an article about us, all right? We done had a few deals. We done had a couple of guys in our group been killed. A lot of controversy in Boston. We real niggas. You know what I'm saying? We gang banging. You know what I'm saying? We selling drugs. I mean, we're like the NWA or like the East Coast kind of. You know what I'm saying? How I can look back at it. So we at RCA, and they had lied about, we're having a press day. Steve Stout had signed us. And we had like an EP deal. Put out like 7 songs. And I just remember they came up and it was like, we was like in the conference room with a bunch of press people, a couple of people, you know, from the actual label and stuff. You know, this is Garth Brooks' label. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is a major fucking label. This ain't like Tommy Boy. So these motherfuckers come up there, and his first he was like, oh, yeah. And I'm looking at him. He's like, yeah, there's a summons for me to go to court. I said, for what? I just remember, I don't know, trash can. Boom! And then we grabbed one of them, threw him through, the whole glass thing came out the door. It was just fucked up. Police came. It was crazy, but the only reason we didn't get locked up because they lied.
Yeah.
About they wasn't supposed to be up there.
Yeah.
And like the summons was some bullshit. I didn't even have to go to court, but
what happened with the label after that?
We got dropped.
From that incident?
Immediately.
It's like, y'all gotta go.
Get them niggas up out of here.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, we got dropped, but then it was like, I remember, so the whole staff wrote this letter saying that Dave had violated the integrity of the magazine by putting a story in about his friend. And they all said either you step down or everybody's leaving. So Dave said, fuck it. He fired everybody. And his partners, he bought him out. I remember there was nobody in the office and shit. Ron Horton, he was like security. That's my man. My Uncle Eddie's in the Bronx, man, that lived in the Bronx, right? He know my grandfather and everything. So Ron was like the security. I remember Ron used to do karate and shit. I just remember that night we was up there was nobody in the office. He was like, yo, you want to be my partner? I was like, what you mean, you know? He was like, nah, come on and be my partner. I said, I'm not no magazine. He said, no, man, come on, you come up with a lot of good, just, you know what I'm saying? Me, you just, you know what I'm saying? Why not? 50-50. I was like, all right, fuck it. Now, it wasn't it ain't like he was like, hey, take this 100,000. It wasn't no money. I was like, all right, fuck it, with 50-50. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was just trying to make up because of all the madness that happened. But the story ended up in the magazine. They tried to stop it. Dave had to hide the story before it came out last minute. Imagine that.
From his own staff.
From the host, we fired the whole staff. And that was the era of me and Dave from 1994 on. And, you know, it was like, I was still in the streets in Boston, so Dave's still in New York. But people thought I was the muscle because I had a gang of guys with me. And, you know, and I was, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, it's not like the Source was getting ready to get a lot of money, but we was peaking. And, you know, when you give people mics, they don't like the mics or somebody doesn't think, you know what I'm saying? David M's not about that, you know what I mean? So he, you know, when I look back at the magazine and I see my involvement, I learned so much on the job. I always was a hip hop nigga, DJing, and I always knew the elements of hip hop. It was in my life. It was my blood. It was my blood flow. But the magazine thing was different. So I ended up being the brand manager. I got a deal. I got our first deal with Leo Cohen, and $4.5 million deal for the Source Hip Hop Hits. I came up with an idea for the compilations where whoever was on the cover, 12 covers, I would put them on a compilation. And man, we sold 5 million fucking units. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah, it was a 50-50 profit sharing split. Man, we was getting a lot of money from them. And
so now you're pretty much an executive.
Still didn't look at it like that. I never had an office at the Source.
Okay.
No, I just wasn't an office nigga. Like, like I ain't gonna lie. We started getting listen, we wasn't getting money. I still was in the streets probably until 98, 99. Right? Made Men we got a deal, Made Men, we got $500,000. That was a nice amount of money for everybody. But once the Source started, once Dave started getting all that advertisement, man, we was making a couple of million a month.
Yeah.
Now that's when it's out of control. That's out of control, Zeno, now. Like, and when we broke up, I got a solo deal now. That's almost got $1 million deal with fucking Key Dog. And you know what I'm saying? Man, Key Dog signed me. That's when I met you. You know what I'm saying? It was around that time.
Yeah.
And big up to Key Dog too, man, because
good dude.
Benzino was on Motown fucking records. Like, you can't, like, that's crazy to me. Like, I wasn't the best rapper in my group. I was probably the worst. And but I just was the one that was like, okay, if y'all ain't gonna be with me no more, I'm gonna go do this. And I'm you know what I'm saying? I got it to where I started getting my writing off, and I always produced. I was one of the Hangman 3. I was a good producer. I learned from Paul C. back in Queens, the white guy who got murdered years ago. He taught me how to use the SP1200 to the MPC. A lot of people don't know I produced the Need 2 Times and Rest in Peace JB, Nas's double platinum album, the intro. We produced that. You know, Stacey Lattisaw sample, the Heart of a Lion joint, on the Stillmatic one. So, you know, we've been producing for years, but we was getting so much money, and Dave gave me American Express. I just was all over the country, all over the world, just spending millions of dollars, doing mad drugs, man, just sleeping with everybody possible. Like, you don't even understand. See, I know you, Bryce, when so you can imagine, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I know you.
We all had that moment.
Yeah, because man, he had that moment.
Yeah, I had a moment.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Oh boy, so you understand? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was out of control. Like, I remember
Can you give us a window into how it looks? Like,
I would be at the Beverly Hills Hotel, right? So I'd have 6 of my guys in the regular rooms that were $500 a night. So I had about 3-4 of those rooms. I'm in the back bungalow that was about $1,400 a night, and I didn't want to leave. I stayed there for like 4 months. Like, Dave was like, "You gotta go." I was like, "I'm not fucking going." I would have women in there, and I would be doing drugs for like 3-4 days straight, like, and then come out and I see some of the Redstone. Half my hair would be braided like this. Half my hair would be half braided, and I got the Beverly Hills terry cloth thing. And in the back, it's a maze back there. It's a maze with a tennis court. He's looking at me, and I'm looking at him like, "Fuck is you looking at?" You know what I'm saying? Old motherfucker. Something to Redstone. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, fucking look at me like that. Oh man, I used to be a wild boy, and then, you know, like, Dave was just, God bless Dave, man, because, you know, I was a wild boy. Like, you know, I remember I had a penthouse next to Lawrence Fishburne. So Lawrence, every time it was on Sunset, it was called the Argyle, but before that it was called something else. So when you go up, there's only 2 penthouses. I had one, and fucking, you know, he's my guy, but man, he's this dude. So every time sometimes we'd be walking up together, just us, and he would never even look at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I love your movies, man. I'm a fucking fan. Like, why is you sunning me like this?
Yeah.
So I'd see him, he'd always have a white chick with him. So I'm coming up there, and my chicks are wild, loud and shit and everything, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what, I know what I gotta do. So one time I had a white chick, you know what I'm saying? So we downstairs in the lobby. I said, I'm gonna wait for this motherfucker to come and shit. So I'm downstairs in the lobby. She had something to do with the Lakers. I'm not really even into white women, no disrespect to them, but I just want to like, you know, because he thought he was so fucking, because it seemed like he thought because he had white women, it gave him some type of clout or something, because, you know, I always have the wild chicks with me. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So he came, I was like, look at that. I said, come on. So he walked upstairs. I said, come on, we walked up with him. She was bad too. This motherfucker looked and said, what's up? To both of us.
Oh, wow.
The only time, I swear to God, I never told that story, man. I used to be, look at this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like he gave my props. Like, I see you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I say, ain't this a bitch? No, but for real, like I did amazing things, man. I remember flying to the Tyson fight on private jets. You know what I'm saying? Me and Lisa Ray was real cool. So she was, you know, she'd be on the jet with us. And I mean, you know, I was dating a lot of different celebrities. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
I remember you from eras of your reputation.
Man, it was
the first era was dudes come up in the sauce to press Dave. You can't do that no more. The next era was this dude is wilding out there. Like he's wilding like rock star life. You know?
I was
wild. You've had different reps for different eras.
I used to get kicked off of planes because like I be in, you know, I'm in first class and shit all the time. And I never saved my sky miles. Ain't that a bitch? I never, like all the fucking places. Anyways, man, so like this is the type of, I'm just the irresponsible. So I remember I would just be like, hello, sir. Like, I'd give them hell, lady at the front desk, because they're always looking at me crazy like I didn't have that money. And I'd be like, excuse me?
Like, what are you doing
here? I remember
they
didn't have to do Houston. It was about 100 police. I thought I was going to get fucked up because I had to bring the plane back. Because I'm like, this is my fucking seat. Like, I don't gotta fucking give you my ticket. Yeah. This is my seat. Yeah. I'd give them hell because it's some racist bullshit. Yeah. But the day would have to come bail me out. I remember in Miami, Source Awards, I didn't have no license. I got the Ferrari. The fucking police pulls me over, license registration. So I'm looking down there. I'm like, yeah, so I don't get it. So next thing you know, he grabs my hair. I had an afro, it wasn't braided, tries to bring me out. Me and him are fighting. I grabs his gun. Then other police, they fucked me up in Miami. Al Sharpton had to fly down there. They left me under the police station for like 6 hours. Like I've been shot a few times. I've been in some real fucked up situations. That was the first time I thought I was gonna die. Because after they beat me up, beat the shit out of me, they put me under the Miami station, right? With the windows down in the hot ass fucking sun. I was there for like 3 hours. I was kind of like hyperventilating because I'm in the back of the car. There's no room, and I'm cuffed up like this. So I had to calm down because man, I felt like I was gonna pass the fuck out. Yeah. By the time Al came down and Dave, man, I was bleeding all over, eye hanging out. So I had a warrant, man. They was like, look, we can send him to jail because I was gonna sue him. They said if you don't sue, you don't get no time off this other case I had in Miami. So that, you know, we had to make the deal like that. But I mean, I've been through hell, man. I've been through a lot. That's only some of it. We ain't talked about the Jadakiss and Locks thing.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. The Jadakiss and Locks thing. No, we get to 50. Let's talk about the Jadakiss and Locks thing.
So, you know, like one thing about like hip hop, you know, hip hop is our economy. Hip hop is what brings. I felt like hip hop is really from the streets. Without hip hop. I feel like the street guys are the last of the Mohicans, are the really lowest guys on the totem pole. Yep. The system is set up against us. And I say us because that's where I'm from. That's why I consider me. You know, it's like no matter what you do when you're a street dude, man, it's always going to be some shit where it seems like everybody's against you. And that just seems like how it is for street guys. Now, here comes hip-hop, and it's giving all these guys money. So you got guys from all these cities, and they got a bunch of guys. Everybody's deep now around this time in the 90s and 2000s, you know. Yeah. Shit, you know what I'm saying? You can bring your whole crew. Yeah. You know, Kissing Them, we had already did a song with them that was dope as fuck. Arguably one of the greatest group collaborations in hip-hop, Made Men and Locks. The song we did, Tommy's theme, for the Belly soundtrack. Arguably the best one of the best collabos. I want people to see what they say. But they flew to Boston. I had a big studio there. I remember we were smoking a lot of hash and shit in Branson. And, those was our niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like we had respect for them because they could spit like a motherfucker. You could tell that they were street. So we had like necessarily the part of New York they're from can remind us of Boston almost. Yonkers kind of remind you of Boston almost, you know what I'm saying? So I just remember we was Made Men was getting ready to go on tour, right? So we getting ready to open up for Cash Money and Rough Riders. That's the biggest thing ever for us. This is fucking huge, man. Like nothing's bigger than that. This is all the blood that we done spilled and all this niggas that think are killed. This is a proud moment. I bought our own tour bus. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck it. Because the label wasn't paying for it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck, we're going to get our own tour bus. Now, Def Jam had a tour bus, Cash Money had a tour bus, and Rough Riders had a tour bus, right? The Def Jam tour bus holds all the promotional guys. They go out a day before because when the other buses pull in, you want to see when you downtown all the Cash Money posters. I mean, this is the time of posters and poster boards. So we had one of our guys on the Def Jam bus, traveling with them, putting up Made Men shit, right? Tour was going good, man. Everything was straight. It's crazy because 50 even opened up for us, I think Connecticut opened up for us. That's how, that was crazy. Tour was good, man. Everything was good. We have rules when we go on tour. We used to get the straps in through turntables, our DJ, because, Alan Heyman it was his tour, so you got to go through all the metal detectors and shit. Yeah. So, you get the straps through the DJ, things back then. So, everything was good. We never stayed to watch the other performances. Every time we perform, my rules was we go right back to the hotel. I had a big crew, and I wanted to organize it. I didn't want nobody hanging around. Yeah. That's how shit happens. Yep. So we'd always just go back to the hotel, get to the bus, go back to the hotel. Got any girls, whatever, grab them now, get back, because we in for the night. You know what I'm saying? That's how you cut down on problems. It's organization. And when it's time to go to Boston, it was Baltimore, Ohio, then Boston. 2 shows, sold-out shows in Boston. It's the biggest shit ever. Like, we going to our hometown, 2 sold-out shows at the Fleet Center. Crazy. Everything we done went through. It's like, man. We decided to skip Ohio and just go get ready for Boston, right? Yeah. All right. Jermaine is still on the road on the Def Jam promotional bus. All right. So we get a call, heard that something like Jermaine raped DMX's cousin. This was the call we're getting in Boston, in Baltimore. All right. This was the story. Jermaine said that when he was in, I think, either Virginia or Baltimore, a girl came down and was like, yo, what the fuck is up with DM? Where's X? Where's X? I got a key. Rest in peace to the great X, the legend. You know what I'm saying? I got X's key. Where's X? Where's X? And something happened where Jermaine takes the girl on the bus and starts smashing the girl on the bus. One of the Def Jam promotion guys like, yo, that's X's girl. She's like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, Jermaine and him knuckle up. They knuckling up, right? They kicked Jermaine off. I had to fly Jermaine in to Boston. Remember, it was Baltimore, Ohio. So we in Boston, and Jermaine came and told the whole thing. He was like, nah, man. He was like, I said, okay, well, whatever it was, fuck it. We do the first show, killed it. Sold out, destroyed it. All right, cool. The second show, we decide to watch the acts after we get off. Now, we deep as fuck in Boston. The thing with Boston is there's gang task force. They know it's us. There's gang task force, feds, there's all kind of people downstairs. We couldn't bring no guns in, no knives, no nothing. Yeah. They searched the fucking turntables, coffin, all everything, the car, everything. So I remember we was on the side watching it, and we was gonna watch Cash Money, and so Cash Money was up next. We like 30, 40 deep up in there. I just remember Queen Pen coming up there, because me and Queen Pen was talking at the time. I just remember Queen Pen was coming, she was crying. She was like, yo, DMX want to know where, she has a picture, and it's like, yo, they keep asking for Ray. Now I'm Ray. Yeah. I'm Ray. So I'm like, and I'm like, man, what's up? I was like, calm down. I was like, no, they're saying something about Ray and you and Jermaine. I'm like, huh? I said, all right, hold up. And it's loud as fuck, Cash Money's performing. I said, all right. I said, look, I'm just gonna take Jermaine and a couple of niggas. Y'all stay up here.
Yeah.
We don't need a whole, just let me go take care of this. I got this. So I get downstairs. You know, in these things, these are small ass fucking corridors you're downstairs with rooms, dressing rooms on each side. So I'm going down. It's still loud as fuck.
Yeah.
You can hardly hear anything. So I'm like, yo, y'all know where X is at? I'm asking for X. Nobody's coming out. There's doors. All the doors are closed. So when I get to the end of the hall, Styles was like, Ray, what up? I was like, Styles, what up, my nigga? I said, yo, Styles, you know where X is? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find X. Yeah. You know, trying to straighten something out.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, all my niggas are in the back. Now, here they come. I'm like, right then and there, I'm like, man, why'd y'all come downstairs? Here comes all fucking Styles P and them niggas. Yeah. So now we in a small-ass hallway, all our niggas, all their niggas. Styles says, yo, me and Ray cool. He made a point to yell to everybody, it's love here.
Yeah.
It's love here. So I just remember somebody threw a water bottle on our side, just like this. Just throws it in their crowd, hits them. Oh, I just remember my brother Porky. Brother Pork grabs me, hits Styles. She comes over, stabs Pork. Somebody grabs another thing, hits one of they niggas in the eye. Damn, one of these niggas, I think, lost their eye. A couple of our niggas got cut. And the next thing you know, police was like spraying up the whole shit. Only lasted for about 5-6 minutes, right? So at this point, it's like, man, niggas, everybody's scrambling, getting the fuck out of there. So, my thing was, man, fuck this. We got, see where the bus is at. Surround the bus. We're gonna let off. Because we had shit outside. We had hotels right across the street. There was so many fucking police, man. It was crazy. I just remember that the bus got escorted kind of like by the state troopers. And I just remember we had to go down to the hospital because I remember E and Pork had got stabbed. But they was cool though, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't life-threatening. No? Yeah. And a couple of their guys was in the hospital. And I just remember, that was it. Like I didn't know that they had went down to the police station. And I didn't know that. We ended up squashing it with them at a restaurant in New York. Yeah. Sitting down with D.Y. and because, to this day it was over. And I heard that Swizz Beatz was down there. I heard he was kind of like, like going crazy and shit. I heard he was in one of the rooms. I heard X was in one of the rooms. He just didn't come out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This was all told later on. I think Swizz had called Steve Stout and shit, but everything was in the spur of the moment. Now, when we was at the restaurant, Kiss was there. He was like, Ray, what did you do, up in Boston? I was like, said, yeah, they kept asking us, how come we didn't get you? Yeah. How come we didn't kill you? How come we didn't get you? This is what all the police was saying to him. He was saying, he told the story. And I wasn't surprised because, Boston, the police been trying to fuck with me forever. Forever, and my father. I mean, Boston, there's families of police that grew up, Irish families. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Dirty cops, dirty motherfuckers, man. Yeah, like they run that shit. Yeah. That's they shit. Yeah. You seen Whitey Bulger and all that. I mean, come on. It don't get no more corrupt than that. Yeah. When it comes to us, we ain't got no rights. No, you know what I'm saying? They would shoot at us all the time,
and they operate as a gang.
They operate as a fucking as a gang. Yeah. So that's exactly what they are. So we squashed it, but the thing was, X never. It was still all over X, right? So I'm in Cali one time. I'm at what's the hotel that everybody went to for a minute, man? Everywhere was like the
Nico?
Hotel. Nah, there was the one before. This was back in the day. I forgot the name of this shit. It was, everyone went there. It was like, there was two of them. There was one, the La Park, and then there was the La Montrose. Yeah. All right, so I'm deep in front of the Montrose and shit. So I just remember a car pulling up. This is months later. I remember a car pulling up in L.A. It was like, yo, X want to see you. My man Skip from Baltimore. I didn't know him then. I was like, what? He's like, yo, X want to talk to you. He got the house up in the hills. I was like, all right, bet, I'm going to follow you. He was like, nah, he wants you to come and get in with me. So niggas was like, all right, well, come on. I was like, nah, he wants you to come alone. So I had a strap and shit. I gave her. I said, he said, Z, you can't come strapped, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm gonna have to search you, whatever. I said, niggas was like, hell no. I was like, nah. I said, I'm going, fuck that, let's go. Took the gun out, put my waist up, we got in the car, we drove. I remember I get to the house, a lot of woods and everything, it's in the hills. As soon as I get in the house, two beautiful, like, definitely exes.
Yeah.
Beautiful, mother. And I think Uncle Ray was there. And maybe Ice Pick, I'm not sure. Rest in peace to Ice Pick. I'm not sure, but there was a couple of people inside. I know Uncle Ray was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting. We playing pool. He finally comes down. He don't say nothing. You play pool? That's all right. Playing pool and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't really drink. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But he gave me a little shot or something. He was like, come here, I want to show you something. I said, all right. What else is? He takes the car cover over the Aaliyah car that he had in the garage. It was like this car that he dedicated to Aaliyah.
Mm.
A lot of people seen the car. I was like, man. He's like, come on, you want to go over there? I said, come on. I said, all right. So we get in the car. Skip following us. The other guys are following us. They got two Suburbans. So we down Wilshire's. This nigga's flying. Now, I know he's trying to scare me. I'm like, I said, this is how I drive. Like, I be scaring niggas. I'm the scared one. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? So we get pulled over. You know what I'm saying? Of course. Like, we're fucking flying down Wilshire.
Wilshire, yeah.
So the dude comes up, the things, he sees it was DMX, lets us go. We end up going to the bar where they have this, right on Sunset, where they got the mechanical bull. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? Sunset.
Near the Marjan.
Right, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So we go up in that. He said, come on, let's play some more pool. And this shit is like, so we playing pool. He said, come on, you want to ride the bull? I said, nah, I ain't riding the bull. I know what you want to do. I know you probably ride the bull, dope as fuck. All the white people, they're loving him. They just all know him. Everybody knows him. Like, I guess he's there. I don't even know why, but I'm sure he's there shooting a movie, and that's where he goes. He said, come on, man, get on. I said, nah. Everybody's like, come on, get on the bull. I said, all right, let me get on the bull. I get on the bull. The shit throws me damn near to the fence in the first 5 seconds, right? The fuck? This nigga gets on it. They got the shit on 10. He's
killing it.
He's like it's a real bull. Everybody's clapping and shit. I said, all right.
He proves your point.
Yeah. So we go play a little more. He's still, again, this is all he's saying.
Yeah.
We're not having no other conversation.
Yeah.
He's talking to his guys, but what I said, he said, that was it to me.
Yeah.
She said, tomorrow I'm gonna come get you. I said, all right. So I go back to the hotel late night. Comes pick me up early. We go to Hobby Town. So he's there with these fucking big, I didn't even see no fucking car. I see the little Christmas ones with the little battery. This nigga got gas cars with gas. And he's like, come on, let's go race. You know what I'm saying? So he gets me a car and shit. So we racing for hours and shit. We go up on Runyon Canyon and we racing these cars. It was dope.
Oh, little remote control.
The little remote control cars and shit.
They fast as hell.
So we did that, and we went got something to eat, still ain't said shit. So then we go to the studio. We went to Westlake. Go to Westlake Studio. So I swear to God, man, this artist is crazy. So he starts making a song. The song is Lean On Me. Lean On Me. His producer, P. Killer's there. Uh-huh. So P. Killer takes Lean On Me, bam, 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 then he's flipping it, and he's rapping. Ray Ben's a dog is a dog, and we ain't got beef. So he's rapping what he wants to say in a rap. I swear to God on my mother, yo, right? So I'm sitting there listening. So as he's in the booth, I'm like, okay, the nigga from from Jodeci comes in out the blue. So he's like, yo. So I'm just sitting there, this nigga's tweaking, right? He's high as hell. So I'm like, so he's like, yo, I want to get on the song. He's like, yeah. He goes in. I swear to God, right? Lean on me. So X is like, lean on me. And he's like, yeah. So the song's dope, right? It's a dope song. So I went and did my verse. Yeah. So there's a song out there with me, X. So X does the verse. He gives me dap and he leaves. Never seen him again after that. But I just remember he's like, a dog is a dog, Ray Benz, and we should be friends. And we ain't got no beef. The beef ain't that serious. He's rapping the shit on the song.
His conversation.
It's the conversation. And then the niggas, which one is it? It's the slim one. Which one's that?
KC.
KC.
Yeah.
KC's like, yo, I'm from, Scotty Scott's from North Carolina because my last name's Scott. I'm like, nope. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, oh, so we taking pictures? I mean, it was dope. Like, I mean, I love his music. He's a legend.
Yeah.
But he just came in there. It's just crazy how it happened. Lean on me. And he's like, yeah. It's just crazy. So it's me, X, him, and I don't even know what his song is. And I got in touch with Pete Killer. Pete Killer don't even know what the fucking song is. So that shit happened. So that's the story, man. Like, rest in peace to the great fucking DMX, man. I had 2 days with him, unforgettable days.
And a song. And a collab.
And a song, and don't even got the fucking song.
Wow.
We did it at Westlake Studios.
That's crazy. You got to find that song.
I know Dave probably got the song, man. Ray, call Dave, because me and Dave ain't, all right, see if we can get the song, man.
Okay, so that's a lot of beef. Some good endings, though. Yeah, some happy endings.
Man.
Benzino versus Benzino. You just a wild boy. You did everything, right?
A wild boy, man.
And you got in some trouble.
Got in some trouble
right,
a few
with the
times.
boys.
Yes.
What happened there?
Well, I mean, Source Magazine, we was doing so much shit, making so much money, I necessarily didn't understand, Dave handled all the administrative stuff. And I was like creative, like the Source Awards, all that type stuff right there. Like I would be involved heavily with things that didn't have to do with the actual writing of the magazine.
Yeah.
Ways to get money outside the magazine using the brand influence. I was doing good. I was getting, I just remember, the Fed started popping up at the office. We go downstairs, they be down there sitting and shit. Now I knew I was getting investigated in Boston.
Yeah.
But I thought at this point, because I had left streets alone, I didn't have to. We was getting so much money, I'd be a fool. I just remember they was just, start watching us and I'm sure it came from Boston. But I think they started doing their homework and seeing how much money I was spending. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like, they're like, wait a minute, how the fuck is this guy? How does he get money like that? I don't think, the feds didn't really understand the Source magazine was making that much money. They just didn't know. They just didn't understand. It was the first, it's never happened before.
Exactly.
That young black kids could have all these millions of dollars through a fucking magazine.
Exactly.
So they didn't know. So I just remember they was like trying to hit me with a RICO. They was trying to say money laundering, extortion. They thought I was extorting money from Dave and using it to run a drug enterprise back home in Boston.
Yep.
They used to be downstairs, follow me, because they know I had a mansion I had two mansions in Inglewood, not Inglewood, in Brazelton, New Jersey. And I just remember that they'd be following me all the time. I go to restaurants. I mean, I just knew they was there, like, fuck it, just come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not dirty. I had weed on me, but they didn't want weed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just remember they offered 25 years because they said they was going to indict me for the Kingpin shit, right? And it was 2 murders in Boston. They had stuck on 2 bodies in Boston. And I was like, damn, they went to my mother, God rest her. They was like, man, tell him to cop out. They was scaring the shit out of her. And, it was a time where I was like, damn, they interviewed over 100-something people, was pulling niggas out of jail, interviewed the whole Source staff, right? They couldn't put the dots together to indict me criminally.
Yeah.
So what they did was they wired up our accountant at the magazine that 5 years working from Jersey, guy that Dave hired, Jewish guy. He wore a fucking wire trying to get me. They try to have me say I didn't want to do my taxes. At the time, I didn't know a W-3 from a W-7. I didn't know about taxes.
Yeah.
Right? But that's what he's there for. And I remember specifically, when I go to the office, remember I didn't have an office. Office is split. It's the business and journalists. George Moore's right next to Dave. So he's seeing all, I go in Dave's room, there's a couch like this, I put my feet up, we smoking, we have our meetings, and I'm on a flight somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You could just tell he was just jealous. Yeah. The only conversation I'd have with him was Patriots and Jets. So I remember he would start running around the hallway like, Ray, we got to do your taxes. All right, well, then do them then. Yeah. The fuck you, go get the information from Dave. I don't know what the fuck. So he keep asking me. I remember specifically, Dave, why you keep asking me to do my taxes? I said, you do them. Or you and him do them. I said, I don't know what the fuck. I said, I've never seen no paperwork up here.
Yeah.
So I had to go on tour. And I remember I used to hang up on him. So I remember Jeff, I'd be sleeping. He's like, yo, it's George. Hey, Ray, we got to... So they finally said, fucking indicted me for taxes. They couldn't get the criminal.
Mm-hmm.
So the taxes came. And the feds, they're two different offices. There's criminal, it's taxes, but they work separately. They don't work together. So this motherfucker wore a wire, and I remember because he was the only one that was wearing button-up shirts, but it was like a some type of little device right here that looked like an ID type of thing, a clip ID. But that was the device.
That's why, yeah.
All I had to do was say, man, I don't want to do my taxes. Fuck my taxes. But what bozo was going to say that? Like, I'd have to be a real asshole. I'd just be like, man, listen, now the criminal, since I didn't get indicted, I couldn't get what the people that did the interview said about me. I couldn't see that because I never got indicted, so you can't get that information.
Yeah.
But I could get everything that was on his wire, we got. So every time he would hang up, you would always hear the after effect. Fuck, he hung up on me again. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you would always get that because he's still wearing the wire.
Exactly.
So he came and testified against me and shit. You know what I'm saying? I took the trial.
Yeah.
Because Corey was born. I wanted at least 6 more months. I knew if I took the trial, I'd have more time. We was losing the source, man. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have, like, the money was all fucked up at that time. It was bad, you know? So it was just a situation where it was like, with me, I felt more bad for Dave. You know, I took it to trial and I ended up beating it, not guilty. He came and testified against me. But I think that the all-white jury, I think they figured like, yo, he doesn't know about taxes. You're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck did I do wrong? I have no control over what Dave controlled the monies.
Yeah.
You know, I just swiping them cards until the black thing came off. You know what I'm saying? They'd have to give me a new card every 3 weeks because the black shit would come off. I'd be killing that motherfucker.
So what did you learn from all of that?
Man, you know, my dad was the greatest. I used to pick my father up in hoopties, and when the marshals was looking for me, he'd duck back in the car. My father taught me everything I knew, so I lasted this long. I had a good run in the streets, and I lasted this long because I am not stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I felt that George, something wasn't right with him. I just felt it. So I wasn't gonna, loose lips sink ships. I didn't say nothing to it to incriminate myself. I don't live with regrets, Bryce. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I said, man, we street niggas, and chances of us even trying to make it to this age is slim and none. So it's like, whatever happened, I'm afraid it would change the trajectory of where I'm at right now. And I'm free, feel good. You know what I'm saying? I'm sharp. You know what I mean? Of course, I made money management mistakes because I never knew about managing money.
Yeah.
Every time I get my profit, I'm blowing it because I know I'm going right back outside tomorrow to get more. So I never had to save anything. I probably never even had a savings account.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It was checking. I was a checking motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Checking like a motherfucker.
So what made you get into your personal fitness?
Female chicks. Women.
Really?
Yeah, man. Women love, fucking right.
Damn.
Yeah, you look at niggas that all ripped up, chicks be looking, you sitting there like, I'm like, I want that look. You know what I'm saying? And then,
So you just woke up one day and said...
I mean, listen, one thing about me, it's like, all them years I had that run with that money, and when the money wasn't there, I just felt like I need still something. I need
another edge.
Be proud, that I can be proud of myself of, and people can be proud of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you could work out, you could have no money and work out, just a gym membership, a few dollars a month, and just go put that sweat equity in yourself. Yeah. That was the best thing I've ever did with my life, man. Because at my age, man, listen, there's a lot of different routes. And these guys, a lot of guys are dropping like flies because of still what they eat and how they, how much sleep they get. I'm lucky, man. I'm fortunate that I even made it to this, but once I made it, it's like, okay, shit, I want to put a couple of extra years of my life. And once I start seeing the difference, once you see the difference, it becomes addictive. I'm addicted to it now.
Yeah.
Like when I leave here, I'm going straight to the gym.
How long have you been on this journey?
Man, 10 years.
10 years?
10 years. I would say, yeah, like when I was, I didn't, because I never worked out when I was younger, ever.
And did you teach yourself or did you get a trainer?
No, I had a trainer. I want to introduce Marcus. Marcus, man. Marcus is my man. Me and Marcus, he's from Atlanta.
Okay.
Me and Marcus had a beef at his crib, and I didn't see him ever since. Big motherfucker, too, boy. But Marcus be on that juice, so, you know what I'm saying? Man, I think I was going to make it out of his house alive one day. That motherfucker there, boy. But he taught me everything I know, and I'm telling you, it really is a process. And there are things in the gym, all your muscles are separate. So you have to work certain things, certainly, so everything could be proportional. You don't want to have disproportional, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I give all to him, man. Like, I actually could train somebody now because I know the machine so well now, man. But I love doing it, man. And it's my happy place. It's somewhere I could be by myself. I'll go in there and I'll listen to, like, Jesus Christ Superstar. You ever listen to Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
I'll listen to that. And I'll listen to that over and over. Like, I won't listen to no hip-hop. Sometimes, but I'll listen to, like, Fleetwood Mac for like one song over, and a song that moves me, and I'll listen to that the whole fucking time. Yeah. And man, I'm telling you, man, I get emotional. You know, you want to get emotional because that's what's pushing it. Yeah. And it's the best thing, man. I really recommend it to anybody, especially going through depression, major stress, women problems, like men having women problems, like without the gym, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I mean, we men and we go through these women problems and we think ourselves to oblivion when it comes to women. And the only thing that really helped me through that was the gym.
Has it changed the way you move with women now?
You know, well, I always was nice with the ladies because, I mean, it just, you know what I noticed what that was? And I didn't even look at it like of how a looks thing, just the way I talked to him. Like I learned from my father, just watching, just being nice, charming. You know what I'm saying? I started that early, like not necessarily from a finesse standpoint, because I never really wanted nothing from women but sex. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you know, when you're young, you only look at women just for that. As I've gotten older, that's why it's important to get older, because you really see how much you miss when you're young. And I see so much, I've learned so much more from women, and so, like, for real. Like, when you're young, it was just one thing from women. Yeah. But, man, I'm glad I made it to the age I am, because there's so many amazing things that you can only get from a woman's perspective. Yeah. And I never knew that. I'm looking at my mother as just my mother. Like, she's not in the woman category, but I'm looking at everybody else's ass. Exactly. So it's like...
Now you actually see the person.
Now that I understand the amazing attributes of a woman, I see what I missed out all them years, what a lot of men miss out when they're young, all them years.
Absolutely. Yeah. You did the artist, you did the business thing, you did the artist thing, and then you decided to do the reality TV thing.
Oh, that was because of Sleezo. It's crazy ass. Like,
he brought you in on that?
Yeah, man. I wouldn't even been involved with that crazy.
But you kind of loved it after a while.
Oh man, I was a lover. I was the first nigga to tongue kiss a chick like that. I was like, if I'm gonna get on this bitch now, I'm gonna make my mark. Because you know what it is about loving hip hop? All the niggas on there, they just want to look so cool and so macho. See, I let all that down. Yeah. See, when I let it down, everybody else saying, damn, okay, I can let mine's down. Because before that, everybody's just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know.
How'd you feel about making yourself that vulnerable in front of the
world? Good, Bryce. Yeah. Man, like, I didn't even know it was going to happen, but I said, this is how I planned it. Again, every move is a calculated step. So when I was with Carly, we was messing around off camera. When the first time I came to 11 Hip Hop was like a party, and I was like just came with Stevie and shit, you know what I'm saying? I just came to Atlanta. So I drove him to the party. I'm like, damn, Sleeves, who's that? Who's that? Which one's that? So I'm looking at Ari and Mimi's friend. I'm looking at K. Michelle. I'm looking at Carly. I'm like, yo, which one I can get, you know? Because you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so I'm just looking. So I just remember we did a scene where, because me and Stevie was doing this band thing, where we had a band and I was rapping, he was singing, was producing.
I remember that.
It was pretty dope, the Magnificent 757s. And I just remember Carly coming out of her scene. And I was sitting smoking weed and shit. And she was like, hey, I was like, me? I'm sitting there with 3 other niggas. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, me? She's like, yeah. I'm like, yo, can I get your number? I was like, hell yeah. She's saying it in front of niggas. I was like, ooh. Because in my mind, I'm like, damn, did Sleaze set this up?
Yeah.
I'm like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Out the fucking blue. Thank you, God. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm new to Atlanta and I'm hot.
Smashing. Like, this is big. I wasn't thinking of TV, you know what I'm saying? I'm a private dude when it comes to women. Mm-hmm. Like, I've messed with a lot of celebrities and nobody would ever know.
Yeah.
Very private. So I just remember me and Carly had messed around and shit. And a couple of weeks go by, and she's like, Mona's like, look, if you're going to be dating her, you got to come on TV. I'm like, oh, no, I can't do that, because I had just got to Atlanta. I was dating like 2 or 3 other chicks.
Yeah.
I was like, Atlanta's live. I had like a little Asian chick from the gym and this other stripper. I was like, I don't know about this going on TV shit, because that's going to fuck everything up. I don't want to do that. I said, Steve's like, nah, come on. I'm like, damn. So I said, all right, well, this is what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do that, so I ended up blocking. This is when I found you could block people on phones and shit. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is dope. So this is what I'm saying. So I just blocked them. That was some fucked up shit to do.
Oh, you just blocked the other chicks?
The chicks, yeah. That was wow. It was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Then I moved. So this way here, I was like, I don't want nothing to mess this up. If I'm gonna go on here, we're gonna do it big. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now I'm on TV, and it's like, yo, I'm on TV, and you know, I'm cooking for Carly, and they liking me and shit. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is cool. So I'm like, shit, I never been married before. So Mona's like, fuck it, get married. I'm like, yeah, let's get fucking married. Like, fucking right. Like, let's go. Like, my life is changing. Remember, it was no more sauce and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was doing Hip Hop Weekly, but you know what I'm saying? I still had a little money left over, but I'm on TV and like, fuck it, let's get married. Like, I'm not getting no fucking younger. Yeah. So I got a nigga that's got, I'm gonna give him a little scene. He's gonna give me a free diamond ring and shit. Yeah. I called niggas, got him a scene, got the diamond ring. She moves in with me. I got the dope little crib in Smyrna. We got the heated pool, nice little mini mansion. You know what I'm saying? I got the motorcycles. I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I was like, I'm like, fuck, how did this happen? I'm like, this is pretty dope. And all I got to do is just, I don't got to have no other. See, Stevie and them got problems. They got 2 chicks, Scrappy, Kurt. I got 1 chick. I love her, and I'm not doing shit like y'all. Yeah. Y'all can't go get my baby's mothers because they way to fucking Boston. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not messing with them. Yeah. So I'm messing with her. I'm going to marry her. Sleeves was like, you sure you want to marry her? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, why? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's the matter with that? It's like, nigga, it's like, all right. I said, all right, yeah, because don't be like that, nigga. Like, if you like her, I love her. We got a rule with us because me and Sleeves, you know, we can't question, no judging. You know what I'm saying? That I don't judge you. You don't judge me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You out of all people, don't judge. Nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I just remember, this is the first time I'm saying this, right? This nigga Sleeves calls me at Johnson. It's like, yeah, come. I goes early in the morning, go get this nigga down by Atlantic Station, Johnson crib. This motherfucker's coming out the crib with Johnson and Stevie early morning, hair all fucked up. Carly. I'm like, I'm mad at the motherfucker. I'm looking at Sleeves like, but I'm trying to play it off like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? She's like, I'm like, So we in the car and shit. I'm like, man, I'm like rethinking this shit now. Like, what the fuck is this? So, all right, cool. I don't say nothing.
You went there to pick up Stevie or
I went to go pick up Stevie.
Okay.
And then Stevie's...
Explain it. We didn't understand.
I love Stevie, but you got to know Stevie to love him, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did that shit on purpose. You know, I know he did. Yeah. So it's cool. I didn't say nothing, right? So then we at the crib, and I'm like, you know, I'm hearing that she's fucking with another way you do it. Roscoe Dax. I'm like, Roscoe Dax. I'm like, look, Carly, right? If I find out you fucking with somebody, I'm kicking you out the crib. Yeah. Like, this is with no cameras. Yeah. Like, don't make me look crazy. Yeah. Like, well, this is the last thing you want to do. She's coming at 6 a.m. The next time you come here, she had like 7, 8 shopping bags over there and shit, like with her shit. So I'm throwing them shits out, I'm telling you. So I just remember it was time to do the fucking scene where I had to give her the fucking ring and shit, right? So I had threw her out, right? But Mona's like, look, she really loves you and everything. We get back. So I was like, So I had to get a suit. It was me and my father, Stevie. We going to the restaurant. I told Mona, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And then something just clicked in me, man. And as I'm getting ready to give her the ring, she was like, oh, she was trying to get to me. I was like, fuck no. I said, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I said, I can't do it no more. Yeah. I was trying to figure out a way, and my heart started beating fast.
Anxiety.
The next thing you know, man, I got the fuck out. I said, come on, I almost ran out of there. I still had the mic on and everything. I said, come on, Stevie, come on, Dad. And we we drive straight to the house. So we go to the house, and there's a studio downstairs in the basement. Stevie leaves the fucking door open. I got a chick in the bed. She from the Food Network.
Hold
she
on,
butt naked in the bed from the Food Network.
Hold on. So hold on. You got the ring. You about to give her the ring.
I kicked her out the night before because of the Roscoe Dash shit.
I get it, but the next day you showed up with the ring.
Because Mo and them wanted me to fucking do the scene. I was like,
but when you went home, you already had the next chick.
Yeah, because that night, once I kicked her out, I'm like, yo,
okay.
Yeah, because how the fuck is you playing me with Roscoe Dizahash? Like, man, what the fuck? I'm supposed to be the Z-Star. Do you know how I felt? This is the second fucking time you coming out with fucking Stevie, and it's like, I said, ain't this a bitch? Like, come on, man.
Did you ask about the Stevie incident?
I didn't ask nothing because I still was going to do it. I was like, we're going to just chalk that up.
So you picked her up from Stevie's and they say nothing. Got in the car, dropped her.
I got in the car. It was nothing and shit. Herb Johnson was him, Stevie and Josh. Herb Johnson. I'm looking at Johnson. Man, I'm looking. I was like, all right. I said, I got y'all. It's all right.
So there's a whole nother TV show behind the TV show.
You don't even understand the shit that goes on behind. Bro, if you understood the shit that goes on behind the scenes of Love and Hip, you wouldn't even. That's nothing. I just know that. I just know that I gave her the option and shit, and I know she wanted that ring, and I just it was the first time that ever happened. She went to grab that, and I pulled that bitch back, but then I got up out, and I still had the ring. I gave the ring back to the jeweler. She pops up over the house. I want my fucking ring. I'm like, yo, if you don't get the fuck, I'm gonna call the police. I was gonna call the police. I said, Stevie, get her the fuck. She goes to the room. Her and the girl start fighting. Stevie grabs her, brings her out to the front. I go to the front. She's out there crying, smoking a fucking cigarette. I never even seen her smoke cigarettes. I'm like, she's like, that ring's mine. I'm like, you ain't getting the ring. I'm like, fuck no. She was like, I said, listen, if you don't leave, I'm gonna call the police. She ended up leaving. I know she hated my guts after that, but she played me first. Like, let me tell you something. I got a big heart, man. Like, most of the problems I've ever had have been with women getting played. Like, listen, it happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've got played by a few women that I've loved, but I figure that's my karma for me probably doing chicks. So I get it. I understand.
Speaking of big heart, you might even remember this. I remember I saw you in Miami. I just got my crib down there. My second crib down there. And I saw you at the Venetian.
At the Venetian. I had the studio up there.
Yeah. And you was like, yo, you here? I was like, yeah, I'm here, nigga. He was like, a word. And you went in your pocket and said, yo, I got a studio here. And gave me the key.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I was nuts. Like, I'm telling you,
I just never made this studio because it was Miami.
I was meeting people and just like hiring them, giving people cars. I mean, I had so much money, I gave away half of all the money. It was just a time and period to where it's like I felt like I didn't know if I thought it was never gonna end, or I just didn't give a fuck, or I just lived a certain way to where I always felt like I can get more money. When we lost everything, I felt more bad for Dave because Dave's mom and then put him through Harvard. And I don't think Dave's mother ever liked me and shit. She Jewish.
Yeah.
So she probably like, yeah, he corrupted my son. But Dave was a wild boy too.
Yeah.
Oh man. Listen, I remember one All-Star game, I'll go in the bathroom, Dave got 2 chicks, he's in the tub, butt naked, and he got 3 or 4 chick strippers all around him. 2 of them, you might know, Ray. I'm not gonna say nothing. I ain't even gonna say nothing. For real. Wow. Yep, they from Detroit. For real. Like, Dave was a wild boy too, so it was just a time period, man, period of time where it's like, it was nuts, man. We got sued for sexual harassment by Kim Osorio. Shout out to Kim, that's my girl now. She was the editor-in-chief. Yep. They ended up throwing that out, but I had to be the same court that Diddy was in. I was in that court talking about women that I had sex with because they felt like I was sleeping with women to give them covers and shit. This was in a federal court. This was in a federal fucking court, man. I couldn't believe that shit. Like Kim, I was messing with Kim's assistant. That had to come up. They had to bring up the fact that we would go to my penthouse. She would leave the source, come to the penthouse. It was a lot, man. It was like I never sexual harassed nobody because they dropped it that. They dropped it that charge. There was no sexual harassment. Kim, people were hanging different pictures in their offices. She felt that it just wasn't a good work environment, but it was hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't have an office.
Yeah.
So I just remember before we got kicked out the source, I went to Dominican Republic and spent the last money we had. I brought like 30 people, like 20 models, stayed there for like 3 weeks. And the guys, the very last checks didn't come in for the people and shit. And I was in Dominican.
You spent it in DR.
I took all the last money that was, you know what I'm saying? Because we knew we was getting kicked out the source. That was it. So the last thing, I took all the money, went to DR for 3 weeks.
Okay.
I brought all kind of we brought Amber Rose over there. We brought a gang of like models over there. It just was like, and I shot a couple of videos. It was and they didn't make payroll.
Now you had a vulnerability moment, right? You were crying.
Yeah.
Was that on Lovin'? Oh, that was on Drink Champs.
I think I cried on. I think I've cried on Love and Hip Hop. I've cried on Marriage Boot Camp. Like I'm fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
But it feels.
I noticed that later on.
It's like therapy.
I was like, yeah, of course, because I'm like, I never cried when even my sons don't cry. Even my littlest 9-year-old don't cry. Like he don't want to cry for me. They hold it, and I was like that too. My father. I just never cried, but now I let that shit out. And then when you're doing these reality shows, I'm all caught up in my fucking feelings. They got a fucking psychologist there. They're all in my fucking head. I don't know where I'm coming and going sometimes on them shows.
They got a psychologist there?
What? Oh man, one time I felt so fucked up, man. I just remember watching it. I was like, damn, I felt bad for myself. Then I remember they wanted to read a poem. I did this poem and I just started crying doing the poem. I was like, I watched this. I try not to watch it. But then when I watched it, I was like, I was an emotional wreck, man. Like love, relationships. I noticed that my trauma of the streets goes through that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm saying this because I've studied this. Whatever I'm going through in my relationship with the woman, and if she's rejecting me or if I'm going through bad situation, then all my traumas that have to do with streets, whether it's wars, drug, whatever, getting shot with, it all comes back.
Yeah.
And it's just a weird feeling, man. And, so I'm to the point where if my relationship is right, the rest of me is right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If my relationship with the woman is right, the woman that I'm with,
then you're good.
Then I'm good. Once that starts fucking up, then it triggers all the shit from before, and I can't take it. It's just because it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of death and destruction, and a lot of bad moments. It's a lot of good moments, but the bad moments are so horrible that you know what I'm saying. That it's like, damn. And I was always good at trashing them and don't thinking about them and not thinking about it, But then after a while, man, that shit gets to you. So sometimes I break down. I notice it. I do feel good after. I ain't gonna front. It feels like I could breathe better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Last topic of round 3. Your newest beef. well, your newest beef, right, is obviously with 50 Cent, but did your 50 Cent beef, did it come from your Eminem beef, or are they separate?
Pretty much. You know, when John 50 was going through their thing and then me and M just popped up with our situation, they had already been going through theirs. So it just looked like, once I'm going to M, 50 feels like, listen, he just signed me to the biggest deal of my life. I got to be loyal to him.
Yeah.
So automatically it just pitted us against each other. I've told the story many times how I helped him at my studio when they stabbed him up at the Hit Factory, and he came down to Sony. And I called him a car service and sent him to the hospital. After that, we haven't had any interaction, but just a lot of going back and forth.
So y'all were cool at one point?
I mean, it's necessary. I just met him that one time.
Yeah.
He was at my studio, and I called a car service. He showed me he got stabbed, and I sent him to the hospital. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard to really... We know what beef is, real beef. You know what I mean? Internet beef is something different. You know what I'm saying? And you have to know that. You have to actually train your mind for that. You have to train your spirit to know that it's not the same beef.
Exactly.
So I don't... You know.
So how do you look at this beef with him?
Just a bunch of trolling internet shit. I didn't know what trolling was. To me, it's still disrespect, but it's disrespect that I know that since people don't take it serious, I don't anymore.
Yeah.
He says his shit, I say my shit. He posts some shit, I post some shit, and there it is. This is the new thing.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But when in Rome, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm on the internet, so I just know that we was raised different. I had a mother and father, and I'm not saying that to make fun of him because I think that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but that's what you come from.
But I think that's what
made you.
Where you see some of his behaviors now, I think you could see, how you could look at the movie. I mean, he got the mother never came back. The grandmother raised him. He wasn't the man in high school. Didn't have a lot. They would always make fun of him. He went through a lot.
Yeah.
But you got to overcome that shit, and you can't let it make you be bitter when you're 50 years old and still out here trying to cause confusion and be decisive. I really think that when 50 came, I think that's when kind of like New York lost its edge as far as with hip hop and how the South was so together and how they climbed because of that.
Yeah.
And I just think he's an amazing talent. He's proved that he can do so many things successfully.
Yeah.
That why do you
spend so much time?
Yeah. Fucking with people and being disrespectful when, especially with men, it's like, you know what I'm saying? You could just see it, and you could see, me as a I'm 10 years older than him. It's plain as day. I could see why he does it. When you got money and you got everything you want, and you're still bitter over the next man, then that's just jealousy. It's envy.
Yeah.
That's just, and usually it comes from not even money, a money thing. It's like, man, the women really fuck with him, but I'm sure women fuck with you too. Maybe it might be the woman that you might, but it just depends on how you act. If you was, I'm sure when you came up, man, you was always good with the ladies. I don't think he was. You know how like you got guys in the hood who, they just really care about the hood and niggas more than anything.
Yeah.
They'll fuck with chicks, but it's just to like, you know what I'm saying? They're too into their egos and too into that tough guy image to really want to show vulnerability because they think it's weakness. And that's just the most, you just don't want to raise your son like that.
Yeah. How do you feel about, because you came into the business actually coming from the street, right?
Right.
Versus now you have these rappers that the audience really believes their lyrics, really believes they're from the streets, they were gangsters and all of this. How does that feel to look at like this was actually your life, actually where you come from versus people that are playing a role?
Well, I mean, you know what? It's not too much roles that anybody can play because we all from the mud, we all from the struggle, we all from poverty. And with poverty comes drugs, guns, prostitution, and all the gossip and all the things that run through our fucking communities and, all the worst shit. But it's who we are, unfortunately. And, D1. So D1 is the guy that always talks about you should be positive in your lyrics and this. So D1 made something, 50 posted it and tried to say it was a bad song, whatever. D1 goes on and bigs up 50, and I'm like, D1, you got to understand this. Hip-hop, the economy is what is getting these young black men that you're talking about an opportunity to get their families out of the hood.
Yeah.
Do you see the type of money these young guys are making? And these are the guys that have no chance at nothing. I told you, they're the lowest on the totem pole. We are the lowest. So D1's more or less worried about the content, and it's not about that. It's about parenting. Everything starts from parenting. Yeah. Okay? And, I'm sure D1 came up off a lot of street music, and that hasn't made D1 go out there and kill anybody. He has to understand that there's a lot of them. Sure, there are some ones who are disrespecting the craft and actually going out here committing foolish situations, but that's a parenting problem.
Yeah.
All right? We can't blame everything on hip-hop and blame it on the guys. It can't always be about the guys doing it because we're up against a system that was put in place to fuck us over from the jump. without hip hop, and hip hop came from the streets. So niggas are gonna rap about the streets, and they're gonna rap about what they do. And unfortunately, what niggas do is sell drugs, hustle. We have guns. It's is it right? Is it wrong? It's not. That's not the point. This is our culture, and we have to gatekeep it as so. And the older people, the parents of their children, have to parent their children. And if they can't, somebody has to. Because if not, but if a kid, let's take Dirk. If a kid comes up gangbanging and all of a sudden changes his life and he's a multi-millionaire from hip hop, and if he's and he's selling that music that you're saying is so negative or whatever, I don't see anything wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see anything, because Dirk is taking care of live. I'm sure he's taking care of his mother. So many people are benefiting from that type of music. So I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's a slippery slope. I understand it, because Lord knows, look, I got 3 sons. My oldest don't have a felony. My oldest been rapping gangster shit his whole life. My oldest, Chavo, Chavo, check him out, he's dope. Doesn't even have a felony. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, hip hop was made for us to express ourselves, and it's our economy, and it's making lots of money, and it's helping people from the struggle and poverty get ahead. And to me, that's number one.
Before we started filming this, we had a small conversation, and we were talking about how maybe this thing should be taken back to the hands instead of the guns and all the other bullshit. What do you feel about that?
Man.
Would you actually really go in the ring with 50?
You fucking right. I've tried it for the last 2 years. Listen, look, I'm 60. I ain't got too much boxing left in me, but I feel like I'm in great shape for and then 3 rounds, a minute round, they offered him $2.5 million. They offered me $1 million. He turned it down.
Oh, they made y'all offer.
We got an offer.
Really?
2.5 for him and $1 million for me.
And he turned it down?
He turned it down. 1 minute rounds.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. And he used to box.
Yeah, that's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? Well, I did one celebrity boxing a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? But, of course fighting's better. Of course, if we can get back to the hands, it's better.
I think black men need that.
Of course. And then do it in a way where after it's done, man, y'all hug it out.
Exactly.
Shit, man, if he knocked my ass out, man, look at me, get up, get my money, and I'm hugging it out.
Yeah.
And let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
You was the best man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's no fear in my heart. I'm down to scrap. You know what I mean? At this point, it has to be worth something. You know, I'm just
it should be.
You know what I mean? But
me and Ray gonna talk about that. We gonna figure that out.
Yeah, man. I think guys across the country, there needs to be more of that. There needs to be more conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Put the guns down and throw them gloves up.
Yeah, I find with physical conflict, the respect that comes out of it for one another is a whole nother level.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's real.
Definitely.
That's real.
Okay. Round 4.
This is it.
Let's talk about your legacy. What do you want to leave for the culture, and what do you want to leave for your family?
Definitely for the culture. Like, everywhere I go in every hood, I get mobbed, man. And it's the greatest feeling in the world that, because that's my people. You know what I mean? We all the same. Yeah. We may talk different, whatever, but we all grew up in the same conditions. We all the same. And wherever I go, man, I'm more comfortable. The grimier the hood, the more comfortable I am. So I know the type of people. These are beautiful people. Yeah. And the legacy I would like to leave is definitely through hip hop. That he loved hip hop. His kids grew up well. Okay. That's important. And that he just cared about people, man. Like, Benzino cared about people. Benzino looked out for people. That's important for me that people know that. Yeah. This wasn't all the money that I've made. I shared it. I put it out there. Yeah. I want to be known for that, because that's a good thing that when I'm gone, whoever's in my family's left, those are good things for them to hear. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to hear them. Exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I would love for them to hear. Just like, when people say, listen, man, my man said that you was a solid dude, and man, that Benzino was a good dude, man. I would love for my grandkids and great grandkids to hear that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Awesome. My brother.
Man. Appreciate you too, brother.
Me and Ray gonna work on that fight too.
All right, I'm with it.
We gonna definitely work on that.
Come on, man. Let's go, man. Shit, man.
All right, my warriors. Thanks for tuning in to the Chin Check Podcast. If you like it, like I said, we only bring warriors on here. This is where warriors come and tell their stories. Like, share, subscribe.
Sure. And it's on the Chin Check Podcast. What is the full thing? The full name of the thing? Okay. Yeah. Oh, yep. Yeah, this is Benzino. And right now, you watching Chin Check.
All right, then we just gotta get a picture.
Good shit. Good shit, bro. We got the fucking exclusive. See though. It'd be a lot, boys. Oh, okay. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Thank you so much.
That's the martini. Right.